So I've mentioned this a couple of times before, but I think it's time to make a video on something about me that a lot of people find quite interesting. My color blindness. Now when I tell people this, I always get asked a set of questions that are always the same. So before I continue, I'm going to hold a very quick FAQ session. So here we go. So does this mean you can only see in black and white? No. At least not for me personally, because there is a very rare chance that someone is born with a kind of color blindness that only lets them see in black and white, but that's not me. Wow, so you never learnt what each color was called? Like, you just kind of have to guess? Again, no. I literally cannot see all the colors someone who is not color deficient can see. It's a physical condition in my eyes. Hey, what color is this pencil? It's blue. It's actually purple? Wow, so you really are colorblind. Mm-hmm. So you're not faking it? No, I am not faking it. You know what? Question time is over. So without further ado, here is my colorblindness story, starting with my diagnosis when I was 11 years old. So all the way back in 2011, everyone in my class had to do some eye exams. I think they do this nationwide to all children around this age so that they can diagnose any eye problems kids may have that could affect them in their lives. As usual, there are people who were short-sighted, far-sighted, had a different level of vision on each eye, and I'm so sorry to those of you who have to deal with that. Prescriptions must be a nightmare. But then there was little old me. I did my initial eye exam where I had to read the letters on the wall, you know, the ones that get smaller. I was actually really good at it, and I was able to read every letter at every distance. I felt like a boss. So when it came to the color test, I went in with wide strides of confidence. Ha, yeah, I got this. Look, it's clearly 7. Oh, that's 42. And a square? Neat. But after my exam, I was held back, and for some reason, I just thought everything was fine. But then the technician looked at me, and she didn't look so pleased. So you got 3 correct. Okay, cool. So that's a pass then? Not quite. You needed more to pass the test. Oh, no, I could retake it. Maybe I missed 1 or 2. I don't think so. You show very strong signs of red-green colorblindness. Oh, you know what? I just don't think I had my head in the game, you know? I'm usually really good at tests. You got 3 out of 50. I'm sorry, kid. You're colorblind. So it was at that moment my heart split into 2. My head started to spin with emotions. I didn't know this was actually a possible thing to be, and all I could think about was how different I suddenly was to everyone else. Oh, cool. So the rest of the day went by as usual, and then I went home. I told my mum the big news, and then I had a tantrum and cried for a few hours. I was just not okay with my new reality, and it wasn't like my whole life had changed. Everything still went by as usual, but now I couldn't shake the thought that everything I was looking at was a lie. You're not a red apple, you liar. So fast forward a year, I live in a new town and I go to a new school. I'm pretty much used to being colorblind, and now it made sense to me why I couldn't pick out the red crayon. So I always had to ask for help. Do you know which one is red? What are you, fucking colorblind or something? We've been best friends ever since. When I was in high school, I had to think about what kinds of things interested me the most, which classes would be beneficial for me and help me develop skills for tertiary, something I enjoy and could get good at. Oh, I know, visual art. It was actually a really great idea. I love art, and so I did painting and photography in my senior years. I was actually scarily good at color theory, and it kinda goes to prove that I may not be the best in colors, and I get them mixed up a lot. Like, a lot. But on paper, I understand the theory really well, and it helped me understand, for instance, what colors I would make when mixing paints, because I knew, for example, red and blue would make purple, and that purple would either be red purple or blue purple, depending on the quantities of color I used. In digital photography, it is a bit harder because it all changes from screen to screen, but if you can learn to read colors and numbers, you'll be fine. It's not easy. Something else I got told as a kid was that I would never be allowed to drive. As I got older, I learned this just wasn't true. One of the adults that told me this actually went on to tell me it's because I couldn't see traffic lights properly, and I mean, fair point, but it's not like they're all the same color or anything. Like, I don't see in black and white. I don't see in black and white. If they had just listened to my FAQ, they'd know this. I actually have my driver's license, and my color blindness is severe, so I guess, ta-da! I'm living proof that colorblind people are in fact allowed to drive. At least in New Zealand. I can't, however, fly a plane. I know, It's a real shame. Now, back a few years ago, there was a known cure for colorblindness. But no, not really. But a company called Enchroma released a special pair of glasses which were designed to help correct red-green colorblindness. They became viral, and soon enough people were being filmed wearing these glasses for the first time. I wasn't interested in buying a pair for myself, especially since they sit around the $700 mark. So anyways, last year I went on a trip with some of my family, and before leaving town we dropped by my brother's place to have a coffee and say hello. We arrive at his house and hang out for a bit, and then my brother just leaves through the back door to check on something. So I didn't think much of it at the time, but it was close to my birthday and I already had my eye on him. See, earlier in the year he kept telling me that he got me a birthday present, an expensive one, and since then I had been left in the dark as to what it was. So my sister, mother and I are all chatting, and then my brother comes back inside and asks me to come outside with him. My sister starts filming me on her phone, and my mother looks at me with anticipation. I wonder why she's filming. What is outside that's so interesting? I always told people that if I ever got these glasses, not to expect a crying reaction, and looking back on my reaction when putting the glasses on, it was so lackluster. Don't get me wrong, when I threw those glasses on my face, the first thing I saw was the sunrise, and man oh man, it was so pink and yellow and orange and magical. The feeling of seeing such vivid and correct colors was so euphoric at the time. I was swimming in dopamine, but on the outside, I really wish I had a better reaction for the camera, but I knew just by the look of my mother's face that everyone was just really happy for me, and I am still super grateful to this day for such a wonderful gift. It was never going to be something I'd buy for myself because they cost so dang much, so it really does mean a lot. So yeah, the glasses work, but they do actually take a few weeks to properly calibrate because they have to adjust and balance according to your level of color blindness. Some cool things I saw properly for the first time were orange hills, turquoise water, red flowers, pink sky, green traffic lights, just how red a stop sign is, just how red every red thing is, hivers, and golden hour. Yeah, it really is quite a spectacle. So yeah, I think that's a good brief overview of my color blindness. To summarize, I am severe red-green colorblind, which means I have a form of color blindness known as deuteranopia. Since mine is severe, it is different to someone with an ordinary red-green color blindness. Here's a list of the colors that I can't see properly, which will hopefully explain my creative color palette in my videos. Thanks so much for watching my video. I hope you found this interesting. To be honest, I'm just so used to it that I forget how fascinating it is to other people. Oh, I also discovered that the subscribe button is not actually red, it's actually grey. And if it's not grey for you, then I think clicking on it will help. You see what I did there? Was I subtle? Absolutely not. But for real, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Oh, and like the video, that's a good idea. Okay, bye.